Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the first ever episode slash introduction, sort of episode of Sisterhood Talks. This is Nadia Valerie speaking, and I hope you are having a good day. So, this is the first ever thing that we're doing, and as you can tell, it's going to be a podcast, and we're aiming to have a Islamic lifestyle podcast through an Muslim perspective. And yeah, we wanted to make this one as the introduction so that you can get to know us and know a little bit more about the podcast and the goals and the visions of it. So yeah, I just started and I'm just going to talk about myself, who I am in general and everything. My name is Nadia Valerie and I'm 18. I'm a Turkish-born Muslim living in Turkey. And yeah, that's just the basic information that everyone sort of needs to know about me. And yeah, now I'm going to introduce my other co-hosts, Sister Halima and Sister Sarah. Let's start with Sister Halima. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Halima and I am 22 years old. I am currently living in Finland, studying for university, but originally I'm from Pakistan. And yeah, I'm a born Muslim and I've been in Finland for 3 years, but I've generally lived in Western countries for basically my whole life, so I will be bringing that perspective to the podcast. And
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Thank you. Um, Sister Sarah, can you also introduce yourself?
Yes, salam alaikum. My name is Sarah. I'm over 30. I live in France. I was born and raised here in France. My background is Moroccan and from a Muslim family, alhamdulillah. And yeah, I also would like to share my point of view here as a born Muslim living in France. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So as you can tell in the podcast, we have different sisters with different backgrounds from different ages, and I think that's going to add a lot of diversity and also difference, but yet it's just going to make the podcast more rich. And yeah, now I just want to talk about shortly on the visions and the goals of the podcast, why we started, and what are the upcoming episodes are going to be about. So yeah, we thought that we don't really have anything like this out there on any social media platform. Like, we don't have that many Muslim women talking about Islamic topics or just anything through an Islamic lens.
mhm.
And for Muslims, for us, it's really important because it's important for everyone to listen and watch and have opinions of like-minded people, but especially for Muslims, it's more important because we're living according to Islam and the rules of Islam and all of that. So it's important to listen people through Islamic lens and all of that stuff. And yeah, we just wanted to make this podcast so that inshallah it may be beneficial for those people who are in need of it. And yeah, about the structure of the podcast, it's going to be not too long. It's going to be between 20 to 30 minutes. And yeah, we just want to move with that. And I want to leave it to Sister Halima and also Sister Sarah so that they can also share their point of views in terms of the goals and the perspective and also the visions. So yeah, Sister Halima, what do you think?
Yeah, so just to add on to that, I think it's even more important nowadays with the whole rise of the internet, and especially now that even younger Muslims are being exposed, or younger people in general are being exposed to social media and all these outlets where there is a lot of misinformation or there isn't enough information specifically about Islam. And of course, we all know of all the events that have led to a lot of Islamophobia and just in general a lack of understanding or awareness, um, sometimes even inside Muslim communities. Um, so I do think it's important to have more casual conversations about either our life experiences or just how it is to be a Muslim woman, either living in a Muslim country and how that influences it, or living in Western countries or non-Muslim countries. And yeah, how about you, Sister Sarah? What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we aim to do. As a testimony of three Muslim women living in today's modern world, how do we reconcile this with our traditional values, with our will to be good practicing Muslims? How do we do it? Is it even possible to be practicing your religion in today's world, especially in Western countries? So we hope we can answer all of that. And I think also it is a good opportunity for non Muslims to get to know Muslim women a little bit better, because we're mostly portrayed by the media as being oppressed, as being forced into the practices of Islam. And we want to show you, first of all, why we chose this path, how does it make us fulfilled, and also answer your questions.
Yeah. And more on the format of this podcast. So, I mean, obviously we're not scholars, but some people have different opinions on it. But personally, I mean, we really didn't want to share our faces, and we don't really think that it's necessary to share your face when you're doing such a thing. And like, it's podcast, it's audio based, so we're going to proceed like this. We're just going to be sharing our voices and not our faces, like in a video sort of a format. And yeah, on the things that the Sister Sarah and Sister Halima said, I really agree with the fact that many people are exposed to the social media, and it's important that good content are what they are exposed to. So we wanted to add a value, and yeah, and in general, in terms of the format, we want things to be both an informative way and also sharing our own personal experiences and thoughts and opinions on things. And yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of things from everyday life issues to some current political things that we face. And yeah, we want to be relatable and also about the availability of the podcast on social media platforms. As a start, we're going to be on YouTube and Dawagram. And for those of you who don't know Dawagram, it's basically a Muslim social media that was released very recently. And yeah, also probably on Spotify. And yeah, so this was like the first introduction sort of episode that we wanted to talk about the goals and the visions of the podcast. And we wanted to introduce ourselves so that the audience can know. And yeah, sisters, if you have anything to add, please do so.
I was just gonna say that you covered everything perfectly, so I don't have much to add.
Yeah, me neither. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, you're welcome. And for the audience, please do subscribe to the platform that you're on, to the Sisterhood Talks, so that you would be notified. And yeah, this was the first introduction, and we're going to be moving on with the episode 1 and more on, inshallah. So yeah, thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.